we are going to discuss about functions. What is that? Functions in PostgreSQL. So what is the syntax of functions? So what is the syntax of functions? We were seeing like this: create, function, function name. Till now we were seeing string aggregate function, split part function, length function. So many functions we saw, right? So we saw in our syllabus what we saw. So many functions we saw. What is that? Max, average, minimum, count, correct? Split part. So this is also a function. Split part is also a function. Average is also a function. Minimum is also a function. Max is also a function. Okay, sum is also a function. Right? Count is also a function. Clear? So all these were functions. Now we are writing our own functions. We are seeing how can I write my own function? User define. This is the defined function. So first of all, why this user defined functions? Let us consider. In order to execute multiple statements at once. What is that? Multiple statements at once. Now see, using a query at a time, how many queries you can execute? One. Subquery also, what result? How many result you will get? One result. It means at a time, one query, one result. At a time, I want to execute multiple query and I want to get a multiple result. As a multiple result, then function service. Then function service. Okay. Now, what was our point? Normally, we were executing single query every time. At a time, we will write one select query, one alter query, one insert query, one update query. And we were executing. And that result was not returned to anywhere, just it was on a console output. Here also, it should be on console output, but functions will wrap what? One or more queries. There is no rule like you need to write more queries. One or more queries. You can write one query only, but more queries also we can write. Clear? And we were talking about commit and all. Correct? We will not do commit in functions, but we will do commit in procedures. So we'll see what is the difference between function and a procedure. So what is the difference between a function and procedure? Is the first interview question they will ask. If you tell, I know PL, this is called PLSQL. So if you observe here, the language is PLPGSQL. Normally in Oracle, it is called as PLSQL. Why PGSQL? It is PostgreSQL. Okay. So that's why. So now, what is the difference? Exact question, interview question. What is that? What is the difference between functions and procedures? What is actually difference is, in functions, I can return some value, whereas in procedure, I won't return any value. Clear? In function, I can have only one begin and one end. Okay, all my logic will sit in between begin and end in functions. Whereas in procedure, I can have multiple begins and multiple ends. Okay, we can ask, what is this problem? Why you said functions are for multiple queries, but you are saying there is procedures also. Why you have multiple begins and multiple ends means you want to perform multiple tasks at a time without expecting any output. I will write one procedure. Otherwise, if I want to do multiple tasks, I need to write multiple functions here. Correct? So first we'll see about functions, then we'll see about procedures. So now we know the syntax. What is the syntax? We'll see here. Yes, it is recording. So we will do at last. Coalesce also nothing we saw already, I think, right? Coalesce also we saw. So this is a function. This is syntax. What is that? Create function name, which returns, and the language is, and this is a begin, and this is a declare, and this is a end section. So now it can return any type. So it can return integer. It can return table also. What is that? Table format also. You got my point? You got my point? And here we are going to see temporary table also. How will we create a temporary table? What is that? Temporary table. We were creating tables, permanent tables. We can create temporary tables also. Okay, clear. Let us do the example so that you can understand. So what I can do with my functions, I can execute multiple queries at once. Clear? Multiple queries. So now let us change the function name. That is a what we have. We have done yesterday filter, no? Yesterday filter. Or otherwise, first we will see simple integer return, then we will see table return type. So now, so tell me one table name where I can get some data. Yesterday we had some table names, no? Employees, employees. Okay, employees. We'll take employees. In employees, we have salary column, right? So how like total salary of investment, and let us consider total salary. Okay, so now what I want, how I will find, and I want to return it from the procedure. I want to return it from the procedure. Clear? So now how I will do? So now what do you want to do here? You want to find out total sum. Any name you can give. You user defined name. Calculate total sal. Give the proper name. Don't give ABCD and all. It won't be nice. Okay. Give a proper name so that you can understand tomorrow. So and return what? I want a return of integer. Integer. Okay. So, right. So now I want to return what here? Before end I need to return. After end I can return 0. Right. So now parameter list I'm not going to give. Let it be empty. I can create without a parameters also and with parameters also. So first of all, let us create this. Okay. We have not done anything inside. Just dummy empty procedure, empty function, not procedure. Terminated here. Okay. So now how I will call? Normally, how I will call a SQL query, like in the same SQL table. In the same way, I'll call that procedure also. What is that? Calculate total salary. But function no, that's why braces should be there. This is not a table. So what you are returning 0. Give you 0. But what you want? Total number of select count of 1 from employees. Okay. Means if it is already there, replace. If it is not there, create. Can't return that. Write a logic here into some dummy variable I want to create, right? So I'll create v underscore total equal to 0. Okay, v means variable. Okay, this is a naming convention inside a function. Okay, this is a naming convention inside a function. So where I will store? I'll store into total. I'll store into total. What I want to return? V total. What happened? Oh, data table. Okay. Variable declaration assignment what is the problem? What is the problem? So you need to understand, whenever you do count of 1 from a table, what is the data type it is going to give you? You would have never observed. Big int. So what you are trying to return? Integer. So not matching. So what I should do now? I should do a typecast. What is this? Explicit typecasting. What is that? Explicit typecasting. What happened, boss? I think semicolon is not applied. No, for select we have not applied. So it is thinking as whole query as 1. Along with return, it was thinking as query as 1. Now it changed. Now it executed. Now we will say calculate total salary. Count we said, that's why it is giving you. Rather than count, we'll say sum. Then it will be a perfect calculate, correct? सम ऑफ फर्स्ट कॉलम नहीं है, उसमें क्या है? कौन सी कॉलम है? सैलरी फुल sal. So create or replace, we'll say clear. So now we saw this kind of thing. Yesterday we saw one more query. What is that? So now let us consider we are going to give a bonus to the employees. Bonus to the employees. What is that? We will say bonus. What is that? So now whoever taking 10,000, the bonus is 2,000. Whoever taking 5,000, the bonus is 2,500. Let us say that. Let us say that. Okay. Let us not be corporate. Who have more salary will give more bonus. Okay. So now we need to alter the table and add a column. Alter table employees, add bonus. Add bonus. Tell me, add bonus. Add column. Bonus. Clear? This came. So now the particular row has been updated. So what we'll do? Select star from employees, we did. So now automatically bonus is null. But what we want, I don't want to return in a table. Normally we'll update in a table. But I want to calculate the logic inside a function only. Whenever I execute a function, I should calculate and get it. Okay. So let us not disturb this function. Let us copy this function. So let us save this function so that we can commit into GitHub tomorrow. So that you can take from GitHub once again. So what we will do, we will save this file here. So I'll show you how to commit that to GitHub also, so that it will be helping you. So how we will save? We'll save as function PostgreSQL PostgreSQL types example1 dot SQL file. Okay, so we have created a function. So now what is the point here? Next we are going to see how we will return a table. How we will return a table. So we need to return a table, right? So now what we will do, we'll see first. So first we'll do a small thing, and then we'll go to a big thing. Okay. So we know from yesterday we saw like one filter function, one filter data, right? So what we need to return? We need to return a table. Okay. First of all, we'll write a query with a filter. Yesterday what we have written. So what is that query we are going to write? With a filter, I want to find out a count. What count? I want to find out total count. Okay. So now otherwise I want to find out a sum of sal, comma, sum of sal will come. Filter where sal greater than less than 6,000 means total sum. If it is the total sum is 50,000, in that what is the amount which is went to less than 6,000 people? What is the amount? I want to find out. Clear? I want to find out. In that I want to find out. What is that? Sum specified more than once. Or we can say count only. See. Maybe this applies. Oh, that's the problem here. They're saying into. That was inside a procedure, no? We copy pasted. That's the problem. Now you got it. Why sum specified 2 times means that column names were 2 times. That's why it is saying sum specified. So now I want to return this. What is this actually? This is a total sum. This is a filtered sum. We should queue after that. Filtered sum. So now I want to return this data. Every time I don't want to write the query and keep it. I will keep the query inside a procedure. Okay, so that I will not lose. Otherwise, I'll lose it. No, I'll lose it. So actually, it's not about losing the data. What we are doing, we are trying to execute a multiple conditions in a procedure. So now what we'll do, we have replaced. Yes, we have replaced. Right, we have replaced. So what we need to return? What is that? Begin and begin. Correct? Begin and begin. So now I'll say table. What is the table will return? Begin, comma, begin. See, we have a function. Okay. Filter salary. Okay, filter salary. So now what we need to do? What is that? We need to return this data. Correct? We'll write a return itself so that you can understand. We are not finding any total count or something else. Just we are finding the differences and sending. So can we run this program? Errors are begin. Okay, what is the column we need to specify? Right? Total and F total. Clear? Cannot have a parameter in function while returning is set. Huh? Okay. What we'll do, we'll create a temporary table and we'll do that also. Create. So let us see how to create a temporary table. Create temp table. What is that? Temp table. Okay. Filter table. Name anything. Anything it is. What it will have? T sum, F sum, right? T sum and F sum of type what? Begin. It should be fast. Begin. Now you are experienced developers in SQL, so you should say fast. So what we need to do? We need to insert into C. All we are doing in one procedure itself. Insert into what? Where? Filter table. As this one. And return. We need to return the data. What is that? We need to return select. Elima. So we need to return this data, correct? Select star from filter table. We'll execute the query and return the filter table, but I don't think it will not work. Well, let us run once again and see. Still it is saying syntax error near select. See, first of all, we'll run and see. Okay, manually we'll run and see. I ran single query. Manually we need to run. What function will help us to run all at once? To run all at once. That is the main reason. Yes, inserted. So now what we'll do? Now you query. What it will happen? It will come successfully. It came. So that is our motto of the function. So it need to create a temporary table, insert the data, return the data. That is a simple logic. Tomorrow we will have 3 or 4 pages logics. So if you are a PLSQL developer, if you are a PLSQL developer, not SQL developer, they will ask you especially, do you know PLSQL? Then these functions. See, in Postgres, maximum we write functions rather than procedures, whereas in Oracle we write procedures rather than functions. Both trade-offs are there. So this happened. Every time your temporary table should be dropped, right? Because I need to insert a new data every time, correct? Drop means along with the structure. Along with the structure we are deleting. Yeah, dropping. What is the difference between a drop and a delete? That is also they will ask you. What happened? Again this problem. Okay, so okay. Execute.
Use return extra return query.
Okay. So now what we need to do? We need to execute this. Yes, super. So now what happened? Filter salary. So start from filter salary with the braces. What we have done? We have created a temporary table, inserted the data, calculated some logic, inserted the data, and returned the data from that function. So multiple things at a time you want to do, and you want to store somewhere, where inside a procedure, inside a function. That's why it's called stored procedure. That's why it's called stored procedure. Clear? You got my point? We can call function in stored procedure, but not procedure in function. Why? Procedure will not have any return type. Procedure will not have any return type. So now we'll see small example of how we'll write a procedure also, so that you can. So now we'll save this file first. This is about a function, PostgreSQL function return table, right? PostgreSQL function return table. Oh, I didn't save it as this one. Sorry, save SQL. Dot SQL. Done. Now we got it. So clearly, if you observe here, that in that you may not be able to see, I think, but here also this is not increasing. We will increase the zoom up. Yeah, the mouse is on any level. So now if you observe here, what is happening? You are returning a data. Your function is not taking any parameter. You can send a parameter also. Okay, you can send a parameter, and we are creating a temporary table. See how to create a temporary table using a temp keyword. Using a temp keyword, especially temp is the one that will not be created permanently in the memory. It will create in the RAM at that moment of function creation only. And after that, what you have done? You have drop the table. For temp drop, you should not use temp and all. Directly drop table of that particular thing. So you never create a temporary table of which the table you have already, because it will not create first. It will not create first. The point is that your same table name it will not create. And by if God created love, somehow you created it. Let us consider. If you forget to create and you started to drop, what will happen? Your main table will drop. You got my point? You may do some mistakes. That's why I'm telling you. So you need to be very, very careful with this. But this is very, very important. Multiple calculations I want to do, I can do here and produce as a result. Clear? Now, what I can do? I can do functions procedures also. Procedures, what like we'll change that to procedure. What procedure will not return any data? What is that? Procedure will not return any data. So now what is the point here? So we'll not have this. Rather than this, we'll say what is that? Procedure. Now, as it doesn't have any return type, we cannot have this. We cannot have this also. Like we'll say we'll have some table. Let us consider. So first, for one time, we will create the table filter. Okay, filter table. Okay, so now have we created the and select error this one. Okay, here error this one. What? Oh, that function is there already. Okay, so now what we need to do? proc will say. So you cannot have a function name and procedure name as same one. Huh? So now how I will call the procedure? How I will call a procedure? Not select. You will not call the procedure with select. We will call the procedure with call method. What is that? Call method. Call method. See, that's what happened. It inserted the data into our filter table. So shall we go and check in our filter table? Select star from filter table. You ran once, so that's why it inserted once. It doesn't return any data type data, but I can call what I can call. I can call function here and execute that function, but you cannot call procedure inside a function. Correct. So we did one mistake. What was that mistake? We kept a function name as procedure name and we tried to execute. So what happened? It gave us error. So what is error? This error should be captured. So you cannot have this error should be captured and we need to keep it. So we will so what is that? So cannot define same name for function and procedure. This should be in red color. Cannot define same name as this will be good. Right. So from this, so what did we understand? Functions and procedures is completed from this, but we'll revise once what we discussed today before wrapping up. So we should not have a function name as the same name as a procedure. So what can be the procedure name? Like different one, okay, but procedure will not have any return, cannot return any data. What is that? Procedure cannot return any data. Okay, but it can do multiple actions: inserting data, calculating data, updating data, and finally it should store somewhere. Yes, it will store. You got it. But always procedure will not be useful. Why? It will do a specific action only. It will call. But sometimes what you need to calculate and return like function. So functions are more used than procedures. Okay, these are also interview questions. Can we call function inside a procedure? Can we call procedure inside a function? Okay, so now we have seen this one. One more example we'll see. So now before to that, we will take a screenshot of this and we'll paste this also. This is how we'll call a procedure. We'll write a procedure and we'll call the procedure also. Correct? So what is this? This is about create procedure and call procedure. Clear? How we'll call a procedure? Using call word. Call. Okay, using call. So now we can have a what is that? What they are saying is next one. We'll go to next one. Okay, we don't have this. Okay, we'll paste here. Now we didn't take any input till now. They are saying in. What means in? In. What is in? Input. Input to the procedure. Input to the procedure. In. What is that? Employee ID. Integer. So first salary input function with input will say. Function with input. Okay. So what we need to do for that particular employee ID, we need to calculate. Correct? Okay. For that particular employee ID. Or for that particular department, I can say. What is that? Department. That will be a good one. Correct? Department ID. Created. What we need to do for that particular department, I need to calculate. Where? So first of all, what is that table name we have? Okay, filtered sum. From employees, sorry. Correct. Start from employees. In employees, we have a department, right? Okay, no problem. Tomorrow you insert multiple data, it will come. Okay. But for what our motto is how to send a parameter. That's it. So what is that? Department underscore ID is equal to $1. $1 means first parameter. I like that. How many parameters I can send? N number of parameters I can send. Okay. Shall we see what happens? It should give you same output, but not different output. Correct? But we need to send the input. What is the input? 1. If I send 0, what will happen? No data will come. Correct? No data will come. Came. So let us change the input. What should be the output? Error. Null. Tomorrow you insert it. So now the parameter is also there with you. Clear? Are you clear? So functions with the parameter. See, you can directly use this particular column name, or you can use $1. Clear? Are you clear what I'm saying? So this is about function with parameter. You can add a number of parameters also. I have added a single one. You can try with a number of parameters and you can execute. Okay. Now that is the one. Okay, that didn't copy, right? We didn't copy this, so we'll copy this. We'll paste here as a new one. Okay, save this function with params. I'll say .sql. If you go and copy paste and practice, it's enough. Clear? You don't want to do research and all, just copy paste. I'll give you this materials. Okay. So now what we need to do, already we have the data in GitHub. We need to send this data to GitHub from our local. Okay. So now what we have already configured, so that we will see where we have configured. We have taken a checkout. Okay. Or we can take a new checkout also. I'll show you new checkout and how I can add also. We have taken a checkout, not here, here. SQL, yes, SQL. Inside the SQL we have this. So git GUI here, git GUI, git bash. I'm already from in the main this one. Just I want to copy that 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Right? And 4 also. Okay. 4, 5. Where we need to paste? We need to paste here. Yeah, we have added 4 files. So it is in a text file, no problem. Okay. We need to commit. So git also need to learn so that it will be helpful to you. So what I need to do? I need to find out first status. What happened? 4 files need to be added. 4 files need to be added to our. We are sending to internet. Git from command prompt from here. Okay. So now what we need to do? We need to add everything, right? Not only one file. I say add dot. Means it added everything. So now what we'll say? Git commit. Git commit -m message committed PostgreSQL functions examples. Who has done? Kiran Kumar. When on which date? Jan 12th, 2022. 4 files committed. So whether it went to internet or not, we'll see. It went to branch or not. No, it didn't come. So now what we need to do? We need to push it. We need to push it. It's not about commit. We need to push. Git push. So now we will go to internet and check github.com and my repository SQL files came. Just now we committed there and came. Clear? So if you want also, what you can do, you can copy this URL. You want to install first GitHub in your local GitHub software. So GitHub software. Okay. So if it is a new checkout, now you want to check out all these existing files from there to local. Okay. So I'll say we will keep in temp itself. No, don't want to keep in temp. Somewhere else a problem is there. Okay. We'll keep here in temp, in this temp. Okay. So we'll say git bash here, but main doesn't keep. Previously main came, because if it is connected to that particular repository, main will come. Otherwise, it will not come. So now what we need to do? We need to clone. What we need to clone? We copied a URL, correct? That particular URL we need to copy. It's cloning the SQL means all the data will be copied to your local. All the data will be copied to your local. This is how you will copy. So first you need to install what software? Git bash. Okay, you like you'll have a software, GitHub software also. And this is about GitHub. Yeah, GitHub Git SCM downloads. This one Git. So this you can go and install. It will come automatically. Just download for Windows. You say it will download and double click and install. It will install. Then after that, the options will come. What options we have done now? So now SQL, all SQL came. So it is coming. I think still it is going on. I don't know why. It is receiving object 4 of 31 only. It is coming, but it will come fastly. Okay. So after that installation, what will happen? You will get Git GUI and Git bash here. So using a Git bash, we can take a checkout. How we'll take a checkout? We'll take clone of that. So now you understand this concept also, so that it will help tomorrow. Okay. GitHub. Already the repositories. We can create. No, why you will create empty repository?
So that we can.
You can create. No, from here also you can push. You create a folder here. From here you add git.add. The entire folder will go. That's it. Clear? Okay. Thanks for your time.